I hired over 1,000 people in the last 3 years, and here are 5 rules that you're gonna need to know in order to find top level talent and as well as keep them around. Now, if you stay to the end of the video, I have a bonus rule that is a giveaway that you can learn a ton from. Guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Omir Block. I'm the co-founder of Remote Latinos. And like I said, we've hired over 1,000 people for hundreds of our clients around the world. And we've learned a lot of things about hiring the top talent and how to make sure you don't hire the wrong people for your company. So I want to start with the first rule, which is your first hiring should be an executive assistant. And this is coming from someone who internally has hired over 40 people, and I'm just now hiring my first executive assistant. And the reason is because I didn't know. And I want to make sure you guys avoid the same mistakes that I made. I actually learned this from the book Buy Back Your Time, where Dan Martell talks about the first hiring you should make is an executive assistant. Someone that's gonna make your life easier. Someone that's gonna check your emails and help you with the admin tasks and help you manage your life so that way you can focus on growing the business. You can focus on more appointments, more sales, more fulfillment, whatever it is that you're doing. So many business owners, including me, focus on a lot of different tasks that can be delegated to an executive assistant, but because we think that we don't have enough work for them, or maybe they're out of budget, those are absolute excuses. You can always find ways to make money, and you can always find ways to give your executive assistant work. So your first hiring ever should be an executive assistant. And I flipped this mindset because I always told people it should be an appointment setter, but after reading the book and after talking with hundreds of business owners, people that are making 7, 8, even 9 figures, I realized how important it is to have an executive assistant and almost like a number 2 of you. And before I go into any of the rules, if you enjoyed this video so far, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share with anybody that's looking to hire remote talent, and stay for an extra bonus because I have a very spicy bonus for you guys. Rule number 2 is before hiring anybody, you wanna make sure that you have a roadmap for succession. What does that mean? You want to create a step-by-step guideline of what it would look like for this person to be successful in your company. And there's 2 parts to this. The first part is you, the business owner, right? What would it take from you and what does it look like from your end to make sure that this person that you're hiring for whatever position it is looks successful? What systems, SOPs, processes, tools, platforms do you need to have in place before hiring this person? If you can create a step-by-step guideline to show them exactly what success looks like, what your expectations like, and what is the timeline for this, and you're not only going to hire and attract the right person, but now when this person's working for you, they know exactly what is expected of them. Part 2 is obviously hiring the right person, hiring someone that sees the vision, wants to be a part of it, is excited to interview with you, and most importantly, they truly believe they can make it happen. Now, of course, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is results, right? So if they say they're gonna do all these things, but they don't do those things, then who cares about what was said? So one of the best ways to make sure that this person can do all the things that you listed out, right? Whether it's sales goals, whether it's appointment setting goals, whether it's video editing goals, whatever it may be, is to look at their previous experience, look at their previous work, ask them about their KPI, and even more bonus points, you can do this, we do this all the time, is to ask for the reference and talk to their previous employer. Because a lot of times people were fired due to lack of results because they weren't able to hit KPI or they weren't able to hit KPI consistently. So if you're able to get someone else that recommends them, that is there, that's no longer working with them for whatever reason, that's gonna help you a lot. Rule number 3, you can interview too little of people, but you can never interview too many people. When I interview people, and we've done this many times now, I like to interview 3 to 5. That is what works for us. And when I say us, I'm talking about my internal team. But keep in mind, guys, that when they're interviewing with me, they've already interviewed with 3, sometimes 4 people before me. They've already interviewed so many different times, they've done a lot of skill tests. But I'm a recruiting company, I have an advantage that a lot of people don't, and most businesses don't. Now, if I was operating a marketing agency or a wholesaling company, or heck, even a e-commerce business, I would wanna interview at least 3 to 5 people, but I am not dying on that number. You can always interview too little people, but you can never interview too many people. So if you're interviewing 3 to 5 and those people don't excite you, they're not exactly what you're looking for, you're feeling like you're interviewing just to interview, then you're interviewing the wrong people. Now, sometimes it's okay to get a practice run with someone that seems pretty decent. Maybe they got like a B- scorecard based on their skill test and based on the application questions they submitted, based on their communication. That's okay, because you can practice with someone. But if they provide zero excitement to you and you know you're wasting your time with this person, do not interview them. You're wasting your time and you're wasting their time. Like I said, the good rule of thumb is 3 to 5, but sometimes even internally, it's taken us 10 people and even 12 people to interview them. This is after a bunch of interviews that this candidate has done with my team. So don't live and die by one number, live and die by the excitement you get about talking to someone, by their skill test that they submitted with you, by the interview they have already done with your team in different days and different times. Have one interview in the beginning of the day and have one interview later on in the day and on a different day, because you're gonna find out how this person performs, how this person acts, and ultimately how they show up at different times. Because if they can't show up on the interview, they're not gonna show up to get the job and to do the job. Rule number 4, your company culture is either going to attract people to work with you or distance themselves. Because if you do not have a strong company culture that follows a strict mission and vision with core values, nobody's gonna wanna come work with you. And believe it or not, A players look for that consistently. That is something they're gonna ask you on the call. When I interview someone and they don't ask me that, because they don't ask me specific questions about that, because we do have that on the job description, I always ask myself, is this person truly an A player? They just skipped a very important part of my company, because the very last thing I ask on the interviews is for them to ask me questions about myself, about the company, whatever the case is. How you answer questions tells a lot about you, but how you ask questions tells more about you. Because guess what? When you're hiring someone, they're gonna be asking you a lot of questions, right? They're gonna be asking you or your manager, and how they ask those questions, the depth of those questions, and being able to be resourceful with those questions tells you a lot about them. So, your company core values, your mission, your vision dictate a lot on who you're going to attract. Because remember, before you interview anybody, you need to attract them. Before you interview anybody, your marketing needs to be on point where your brand and the company brand attracts that person. If you've stayed this long for the video, thank you so much, and I want to reward you. So I actually created a document laying out the step-by-step that you need in order to hire a successful remote team in 2024 and going to 2025. So if you're interested in this, leave the comment remote underneath this video, and I'm gonna personally send you the guideline that I have. Here's the best part, I don't need you to sign up to anything. I'm literally gonna send you the doc so you can go over it step by step and learn a little bit about how to hire exactly what you're looking for. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Again, leave the comment remote if you want the guideline. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.